This is Call with Dads, where we dive into the ups, downs, and everything in between when it comes to being a dad. Here, it's all about connecting with a community of dads who are committed to learning and leveling up as fathers. Welcome to Call with Dads. Let's talk.
All right. So most of you people are used to having me talk with somebody else. Usually it's a co-host with a guest, Tom, Mr. Pancakes, and they've been amazing people to talk with. And I'm very glad that I've had the opportunity to talk with them. Now, I'm taking this opportunity, and I won't take this too long, but I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, first day of the year, and a lot of things have been on my mind. Over this past year alone, I have been thinking about all the events, all the things that's happened, not just politically, but also with the world of being a father. It's not as easy as everyone thinks or want to make it look. We as dads or parents work very hard to build our family the way we do. Now, one thing I want to say is I wanted to say that I've been asked recently what resolution I'm making with it being the new year. I've been asked a lot of questions on what I'm planning on doing with Homester as I'm just getting it started and we start having people join, putting their courses up. In fact, today we just had a new course put up by Roy Wang, who has an amazing looking course. But I'm not here to pitch Homester, HOMESSOR.com. But I'm not going to hide the fact of we do have this going, and it's going to be an amazing place. But really what I'm doing is I'm here to talk about the different things that we've done and talked about and how the thought of a resolution is not really something I'm thinking is something as fathers we should be focusing on. A resolution, I plan to do something. It's not this is what I'm doing. And in all truth, I think most resolutions fail in the first month. So as everyone's talking about, make these resolutions, do all these different things to form habits and there's a lot of great advice out there. But as a dad, personally, I think every day of what can I do to be a better dad? What can I do to change the negative things I'm doing, working on the positive things, and trying to throw out the things that people say that really don't hold water to what I'm doing. I've gotten great interviews on this show that, like I said, just even talking with Mr. Pancakes and Tom, I've had an amazing opportunity to talk with them and get so much insight that's helped me be better alone. Now, as a dad, we've talked with homeschoolers, we've talked with the people like John Finch, amazing person. Recently just did the interview with him about a father wound, which, looking into that, if you missed that episode, I highly, highly recommend you going back and listening to it. There's Jody Peloche that Mr. Pancake and I spoke with him, and his story is, oh, wow. It's something as a father, as a parent, you should listen to just to understand the complexity that happens with child molesters and what they do to gain access. And it's crazy to listen to his story and see how his abuser, his molester, whatever you want to call the scum, what he did with getting into the family's trust and so on, that as an outsider, you'd sit there and go, no. But listening to what Jody went through, you say, holy criminy, that's crazy. We've spoke with people that's done all sorts of things, and bear with me. I'm looking at my list here of just who we've spoken with. I mean, there's Scott Warwick, amazing guy that talked about how his son and him rewired their own brain to be able to function better, to be better in what they did. And his son had autism and was not expected to be very productive from what it sounds, but from what Scott's gone through and the tools that he puts out and the things that he shares that he went through to do has allowed his son to go to college, to build up a life that allows him to live and not be stigmatized or not be so burdened by what he was dealt. And Scott, I've spoken with Scott numerous times throughout the years, and I enjoy talking with him. And I mean, they're just going through this. There's amazing people, Dads with Mics. I've always highly told people to go look at Dads with Mics. Even the host of Mediocre Dads, we've had him on a few times, and Q's a wonderful person. His shows are excellent. It's great to learn what we do, and listening to these people going through, it's taught me a lot. Like, one thing is I accept a lot of the differences and changes that I found myself taking on. It's not just saying this is how when I started this, I've listened to the episodes of when Mr. Pancake and I started this, and the views and the thoughts and all the things that's happened. I realize how much I've changed by listening and talking and being part of this community. And that's kind of why Mr. Pancake and I started. And that's part of why Tom joined us, is to be part of a community that can expand our knowledge, expand your knowledge, hopefully offer tools. And I mean, I can't say that I'm better or worse. I say I think I'm doing better. My kids are doing wonderful. They love each other. And that, as a father, is a fantastic thing to be able to say. My kids are not perfect. No kid is perfect. I have made it clear on my opinions on certain types of parenting, and I won't go into that. You can easily listen to the episodes and catch it. Even have an episode talking with somebody that was trying to promote that kind of thinking that, but here or there. The fact is as fathers, as parents, we work very hard. And I've said that already, and I can't say it enough, for the fact of we don't find our solution by just doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's tools, there's communities, there's people to talk with, there's people on social media, and a lot of the community is excellent because you can reach out to them and ask a question. A lot of times you'll get people that'll answer back to you and try to answer your questions and help you where you can. There's people that offer coaching if you need more than just a quick conversation. And there's people that are going to be jerks and just say, this isn't worth it, or they're too busy and they just don't know it. But as the year starts, I know that one of the highest suicide rates, one of the highest depression rates are usually with men. We, at least the men I know and how I grew up, we don't talk about our feelings. We're not huggy, lovey, whatever the phrase is. This is not who most of us are. I know with the younger crowd, mind you, I'm getting older, I'm an older dad, but I know with the younger crowd, they're more emotionally available, I guess is the phrase. I can't fully get there other than my kids and my wife, and to me that's good enough. But still, talking about emotions is not something that you're going to be getting me to do openly. And because of that, that's why a lot of us men, we're taught, shut up, deal with what we have, move forward, be strong enough to build a life and build what our family needs. These are things that we have been taught. And I think it's very important that men know we need to be strong for our family. We need to be strong for the people around us, but we also need to be strong for ourselves. And you need to, if it's not talking to somebody, it's listening. Like John Finch said, the amount of resources out there now to be able to deal with the father wound or deal with whatever's really getting to you is immensely greater than what it was. And it's going to keep getting better. I mean, you have podcasts, social media, you have blogs, you have just churches, you have communities out there that are trying to help. You have to find the right one. You have to find the one that works for you. But I promise you, just like what I do, talking with people, talking with Tom from Earner Respect, Mr. Pancake from Pancakes with Your Dad, if it's talking with Ben Blacker, if it's talking with whoever I get on this show, like we have some amazing people already planning to be on here in 2025. And hopefully I'm able to keep this going for much longer than just 2025, keep it going on for who knows how long and be able to grow our community and what so have you. It's an amazing thing. And that's part of why we're doing Homesir, is because with Homesir, we can make money and help build Call with Dads as well. So I encourage you to find that support, find that community you want. Don't make a resolution to, I'm going to be better and this is how I'm going to do it. I urge you to take the time and reach out to a community. Find your community. If it's, like I said, just listening to this podcast, listening to Dads with Mics or Mediocre Dads, great resources. We get great guests. We have great information out there, and we're all trying to do the same thing, and that is to provide you with resources, information, things that are going to make it easier for you to be a dad. Knowing you're not alone with your stresses. Trust me, my kid is stressful and I love him to death and I wouldn't change it for a minute. But at the same note, it does get tiring. And it's one of these things that we have to remember, that we need to take breaths ourselves. We need to be able to see what we're doing in ourselves as well as to our family. I'm not perfect by any means, and I've mentioned that many times. My wife and I, we have a great marriage most days. And yes, we fight. We get angry at each other. My kids, they're fantastic, but, they're young. They're still learning stuff. They still have things that they're trying to improve. And their educational level is amazing with homeschooling, but there's still other areas that I wish I could do better at improving with them. I'm researching. I'm working on doing that. That's what I can do, and that's hopefully what I can share with you in the coming year. I'm not making resolutions. I'm not a big resolution person because of the fact of they usually end and people give up and walk away from them, and you can have 1,000 excuses why you do it. I mean, if you want like encouragement, there's plenty of people out there that can give you encouragement, but you have to do something for yourself, not because the time of the year, not because, oh, it sounds nice, or I can get a couple likes for doing it. What I do, I don't post anything about my family normally, definitely no pictures, but I do try to discuss like the great things that my family and I deal with, the experiences I deal with as a dad, like the fact of explaining to my kid New Year's and trying to explain to him that New Year's celebration is not just people going out and being stupid and being silly and drinking and what so have you, but it's supposed to be the celebration of an end of a year and the start of a new. And, you know, we need to look at what we're doing, how we're starting every day. Maybe a good idea is to start a new resolution every month, not just the end of the year. Take that resolution you started at the prior month on the 1st, renew it on the 31st or the 30th, and then enact it on the 1st. Redo the resolutions if that's what you want to do. Find the tools, find the community, and enjoy your family. There's too much stuff out there to make life miserable. Don't make miserable life in your home. It's not worth it. People will come and go. I have friends that I haven't talked to in years and probably could see them again and talk to them like it was yesterday. It was the last time I saw them. But the fact is when it comes to my family, I see them every day. I talk to my family back in Ohio as much as I get an opportunity to, but my family in my home, I see them every day. I love seeing them every day, and to me, that's the greatest joy I have. I don't want to bring stress and anger and all this stuff in my house, but I do know that the outside world does affect my inside world. And with that, I work hard to minimize what the outside world does to us. I teach my kids to love each other. You know, love is a hard thing to do. A lot of times we're pretty happy if we can just like the people we're around. Loving is more than just, I guess the best way I can say it is we've all said that we love so and so. Oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we can do this because we love each other. You know, you can love somebody very much, but it's not always the solution. You have to dig in. Is one of the things I very much have learned over the years, and I've stressed through several conversations. You have to look at more than just love to find the solution. And you have to be willing to do the work for it. Here on Call with Dads, we're doing the work as much as we can. We're trying to improve ourselves, and in doing so, we're trying to show you the conversations we have to be able to do that. Hopefully, you find it helpful. Hopefully, you find my weirdness to be helpful in some way, along with the other two hosts that we have, along with the guests that we have. I mean, I know right now I have a guy coming on talking about school shootings. That's a topic that I've really been looking for somebody to talk with because it's an important factor that we need to address. And, you know, school shootings, active shooters, all these things, as a homeschooler, you would say, oh, I don't have to worry about that. But we have people going into churches. We have people going into all sorts of places. We need to know the dangers and be able to teach our kids. That's something I'm hoping to share. I'm hoping to share as much as I can with you, along with having our host, Tom, like I said, from Earn Her Respect on X, Mr. Pancakes, who's Pancakes with Your Dad. These are two great guys, and they're going to be a huge part of this coming year and hopefully many more as well. And I'm looking forward to the conversations with them. Hopefully you're looking forward to it as well. But with that, I can rant, I can go on, I can talk and talk. It's honestly kind of weird talking by myself because I'm used to having conversations, if you paid attention to this enough, you're well aware. But to keep this as our show goes, unscripted, completely off the cuff, and completely straightforward, that's what I'm trying to do. I want to tell you everything that I'm expecting for this year. I wanted to let you know what we're doing, what we've done. Let you know that there's great episodes that you should go back and make sure that you get a chance to listen to, because even the topics that start off, it's amazing the information that's shared that can be used in so many different ways. I mean, I couldn't tell you enough of what we've done with the interviews. And yeah, with that, like I said, take the time, look at our prior episodes, subscribe to our shows. That way you can catch them as they come. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, I should have us on every single audio player directory, whatever that you could find us. If you go and you don't find Call with Dads on one, shoot me a message. Go to callwithdads.com, the contact, and let me know. I will work to get us on there so that you can have us on your favorite player. That is something I'm very adamant about doing. Now, like I said, I've mentioned 2 other podcasts that I'm very adamantly supportive of because I consider them friends of the show and very excellent with the interviews they do. Q with Mediocre Dads. He's on YouTube. I don't know if he's on Rumble. I don't know all of his social media, obviously. He has a whole laundry list of them, but he's also on audio. I know he's on Apple Podcast and he's on a handful of others. Check him out. He's worth a listen. He does some great interviews in areas that I honestly would probably never even thought about touching. He has interviews with people that I honestly never would have even thought about talking with. I enjoy his interviews. Dads with Mike, Remy does an amazing job with his interviews. He is a fantastic person to listen to, and I encourage you to reach out. He's doing some amazing things with a group as well to help people have better lives. And like I said, Remy does an amazing job. I can go on and on with the list. Those are 2 shows that I can suggest. If you want more resources, you can reach out to me. You can also go to pancakeswithyourdad.com, which there's a link on callwithdads.com, where you can see the resources that Mr. Pancake has built on his website. And with that, it's really about trying to be the better dad. As I'd like to say, be better so they're better. If you give up and just be, I guess, mediocre, then your kids will end up being mediocre too and think that's the best they can be. I don't want my kids to be mediocre. I don't want your kids to be that. I want all of our kids to be as good as they can be and do what they're meant to do. With that, thank you. Go to callwithdads.com. We have all of our stuff there. Visit homester.com, HOMESSOR.com, where we are building a homeschooling educational center that's going to just keep growing and keep building up in a way that you're going to find every resource you need there. Other than that, I don't know where else to tell you to go. If you have questions, reach out to me. Reach out to Tom at Earn Her Respect. He's on X. Reach out to Mr. Pancakes with Pancakes with Your Dad. He's on a ton of social medias like True Social. I think he's on Instagram, Facebook, X, and his webpage, which you can find all that on callwithdads.com. I know I'm pushing the websites quite a bit, but there's a reason for that. You should go there. With that, thank you. I hope you enjoy the coming year. I hope you enjoy the coming interviews, and I would love to hear from you. Shoot us a message and let us know what you think. Put a comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I try to find these comments and read them, respond to them if I feel appropriate to, but I love hearing from you. So do so. Thank you. And can't wait for you to hear the coming episodes that we have planned. Bye.